Good morning, everyone. Thank you for starting your day out with me. I'm Jenna Stauffer. My first guest this morning, I definitely can't say enough about him. I've only recently had the pleasure of meeting him, but he's one of those people who just leave a mark that's unforgettable. Now, he's dedicated the past 13 years of his life to helping people have a second chance at their lives. He's the president and the CEO of the Florida Keys Outreach Coalition, which we'll be talking all about this morning. Reverend Braddock, thank you for being here with me today.
Good morning, Jenna. Thank you for having me.
All right, now before we get into the FKOC, Reverend Braddock, I want to know a little bit about your story. You're from New York, so how did you end up here in Key West?
Well, yes, I was born and raised in New York, and like most things in life, this wasn't planned. In the mid-1980s, I was working with my own business in New York as a licensed private investigator. Had a security company based out of Rockefeller Center in Manhattan. Was doing very well and pursuing all the things that I thought at that time were important to me, namely building a successful career and money and home and all those sorts of things. And the divine 2x4 struck, so to speak, and in 1984 I contracted bacterial spinal meningitis, which was a near fatal illness, and I spent a long time in a New York hospital recovering. And it was a life-changing moment for me. It just regrouped my priorities and my goals and redefined my purpose in life. And to make a long story short, I made a decision within about a 2-year period of that I wanted to spend my life serving the sick and the poor, and to do so in a religious order as a priest. And I entered the Order of St. Camillus, which St. Camillus is the patron in the Roman tradition of the sick and the poor. And the order is in 36 countries around the globe and sponsors hospitals, nursing homes, hospices, homeless shelters and such. So I moved from New York, sold my business, moved to New York, entered the order as a religious brother, went to Sacred Heart School of Theology, a seminary, and was later ordained by Archbishop Rembert Weekland in Milwaukee. And I served then after that 6 years as chairman and CEO of the Order's North American healthcare system. And at the end of my term, I took a short leave of absence. I knew nothing about Key West, but a priest friend invited me down, and I came for what I thought would be a one-time short visit. Made another visit not too long after that, and those short visits have turned into going on 14 years in July.
Wow. Well, so fortunate for us, though, to have you down here, Reverend Braddock. So it sounds like you were given a second chance at your life.
Absolutely.
And now you have dedicated your life to giving others second chances through the FKOC. Reverend Braddock, what would you say is the biggest misconception about the homeless population down here in Monroe County?
The biggest misconception is that all homeless people are the same, which could not be further from the truth. The only thing that homeless people have in common is the fact that they're homeless. The reasons are vast and complex and often intertwined. And so what FKOC is really all about is helping people identify and heal from the numerous underlying causes of their homelessness, whether that be loss of a job, mental illness, substance abuse, domestic violence, and such. So when people come to FKOC, we treat them as an individual person, and we work with them to address their particular needs, either as individuals or as a family unit, and develop a very individualized plan of action to help them not only move out of homelessness, but to address the reasons that they became homeless in the first place. And I'm so proud to say that FKOC is able to transition on average every year 80% or more of our folks from homelessness into permanent housing.
That's awesome, an awesome number. Now, do you have a personal favorite success story? I know there's so many.
They are all success stories. Just a few weeks ago, week before last, we had our 21st annual meeting, during which we always recognize some of our outstanding achievers. And I said then that it's so hard to choose one person because there's so many, but there are those who stand out not because of their own personal achievements and success, but because after they've achieved that level of success, they want so badly to give back and to help others and to inspire and to motivate. And so I've got a whole collection of special stories and people in my life.
Well, we're going to share some of those stories this morning, and also I hope in the future to be able to talk to some of the FKOC clients, because I had the pleasure of meeting some this past week. I took a tour of the facilities and everything, and there are so many inspiring stories there.
There certainly are, and thank you for visiting. That really meant a lot to our folks.
It was awesome, and we're going to give you a tour this morning of all the FKOC facilities. We're going to take a quick break right now, but there is much more to come this morning, so stay with us. In case you're just joining this morning, I'm talking with the CEO and President of the Florida Keys Outreach Coalition, Reverend Stephen Braddock. Now, Reverend Braddock, I would say that probably the best way to really understand what the FKOC is all about is to take a tour of the facilities.
Absolutely, absolutely, because people really have sort of a perception and even a stereotype of what a homeless program is, and FKOC is nothing like that stereotype.
No, it absolutely is not. I took a tour this past week, and I was blown away because it's not a homeless shelter. This is a home for people. This is a home where you can tell they are comforted. They have the resources needed to help them get back on their feet.
That's correct. It's a very comfortable, nurturing environment where people really are able to be themselves, to feel safe, and to restore their self-esteem and their personal dignity, and begin to rebuild their lives in meaningful ways.
Now, are the facilities open for community members to take tours?
They're open by appointment, so that we know that folks are coming, but we really welcome visitors, and we're happy to give a tour to anyone in the community who would be interested in coming and seeing firsthand what FKOC has been doing for over 20 years now.
Awesome. Well, we can't give you the tour in person this morning, but we can give you the next best thing, which is on camera. We're going to take the viewers right now inside all the facilities. It will really describe, again, what the Florida Keys Outreach Coalition is all about and what they're doing right here in Monroe County. Thank you so much for being on this morning.
Yes, thank you.
Enjoy this video.
Key West and the Florida Keys. Paradise. The nation's only Caribbean island. But even this tropical oasis can be a heartbreaking and tragic place for many individuals and families. Because try as we may to ignore it or pretend it doesn't happen, people do fall through the cracks. Even here. Broken homes, substance abuse, mental illness, domestic violence, poverty, foreclosure, disability. The list of reasons is endless, but the results are the same. The scope of the problem is worsening day by day. It is an epidemic that, given the present economic climate, is likely to continue to spread. Homelessness transcends race, gender, age, family status, and educational background. Florida has the third highest number of homeless persons of any state in the nation. According to the Department of Children and Families, 40% of all homeless people are families. 60% are single adults. 8% are elderly persons over the age of 62. 23% are children. As small as this island chain is, literally hundreds of people, including many infants and children, are homeless on any given night of the year. In fact, Key West and the Florida Keys have the highest population of homeless people per capita in the state of Florida. The average life expectancy for a chronically homeless person is 44 years of age. Thousands die on our nation's streets every year, and far too many are laid to rest right here in Key West. Standing against this tide of homelessness is an inspired and dedicated organization supported by community volunteers, faith-based communities, generous individuals, foundations, and corporations. This is the story of the Florida Keys Outreach Coalition.
I'm Dr. Eric Nichols, and for the next few minutes, I'd like to take you on an inside tour of the Florida Keys Outreach Coalition, an organization that is a ray of light and a beacon of hope for homeless individuals and families in our community.
The genesis for an organized response to homelessness in the Florida Keys began in 1986 by a grassroots group of concerned individuals and organizations. In 1992, they incorporated as the Florida Keys Outreach Coalition, and then several years later established our county's first shelter, a 16-bed facility for homeless men in recovery from alcohol and substance abuse. Today, FKOC operates 5 facilities with over 120 beds and provides emergency shelter and transitional homes for individuals and families while they heal from the underlying causes of homelessness. A remarkable average of 85% of clients exit the FKOC program to permanent housing as they continue their life journey on a path of independence and self-sufficiency. The services provided by FKOC are astounding. Let's take a closer look at this remarkable program.
Here we are at Poinciana Plaza. This is property that was formerly owned by the military. When it was no longer needed by them, they gave it to the city of Key West with the stipulation that it be used for housing for the homeless. So now it's one of FKOC's facilities, and there we have over 100 beds that provide housing for individuals, men and women, as well as families.
FKOC's Poinciana Plaza Transitional Housing Program offers a solutions-oriented, holistic, multi-phased program based on self-sufficiency, stability, and opportunity.
Never in my wildest dreams did I ever think I'd be homeless. It can happen to anybody if you have the wrong things happen to you. You people truly saved my life, because at my age, I wouldn't have made it. I was no match for it out there on my own. And you came to my rescue.
I really don't honestly think of FKOC as a homeless shelter, although it is, and that's exactly what it is. It seems more of a home, you know, than a homeless shelter. If FKOC didn't exist, there's very little else available for people in this situation in Key West.
FKOC understands the special needs of young children and families living in homeless environments. Our safe, nurturing, developmentally appropriate children's activities program, also known as the Children's Corner, is a special place just for them.
This is Amijah. She is 3 months and 4 days. Having a safe place to come to for me and my daughter. I came here when I was pregnant, and you know, everyone's like, "You're going to a shelter?" No, don't go to a shelter. I'm like, I don't have anywhere else to go. But when I came here, it was like, this is a shelter? You know, I was shocked. I thought that, you know, I had to still live out of my car with all my stuff and going from here to there. And I'm actually able to put my clothes, put my daughter's clothes in the dresser drawers, in the closet, hang up our clothes. We have our own space now. I sleep on the bunk. That's fine. It's better than sleeping on the couch. It's better than having to sleep in your car, you know, and she has her own space and I have my own space, and it's real great.
This is one of 3 vans that FKOC owns, and the vans are used to take clients to all kinds of community service meetings, including doctor's appointments, AA meetings, that kind of thing. And here we are about to arrive at the Nice Center. The Nice Center is a 20-bed facility that is the entry point for homeless men who have made the commitment to recover from alcohol and substance abuse.
The Nice Center for Homeless Recovery is named after Mr. William Nice, a formerly chronically homeless man who recovered achieved great personal and financial independence, and shared his good fortune to help lay the foundation for the present FKOC.
In January of 2005, I came into the Nice Center. I walked in here desperate. I had no place to go, nowhere to turn. I walked in here with 2 cents in my pocket and actually no chance or no way to see how I could get out of it or in any way recover. I honestly believe that I would not be alive today if it were not for FKOC, and I really mean that.
If you want to improve your life and get out of the absolute rut that you're in, you got to stop what you're doing, get down to Patterson Street, talk to the people there. They help women, they help men, they help homeless people, the addicted. They're there strictly and solely to help you. And if you listen to them and follow a program, it's not a hard program, you will begin to find the things that you're looking for and improve your life.
FKOC gave me the opportunity to change my life to something that's meaningful. And it showed me that I count as a human being.
FKOC gives a person, to begin with, a safe place to live, a place to sleep, a place to eat, and guidance right from the very start so that their lives can be changed. It's not easy, but if a person wants to, FKOC is a place where they can definitely change their lives and move on to a better way of living.
The Loaves and Fish Food Pantry provides needy members of our community with an emergency supply of non-perishable food, personal hygiene items, and disposable diapers. The pantry is supported in large part through local food drives conducted by churches, the Navy and Coast Guard, postal workers, civic groups, and generous neighbors.
Without FKOC, I think the community would be in a lot worse condition it is with our homeless problems and our alcoholic problems that we have. I think because of the success of 20 years of the Outreach Coalition, you can see that it's been successful and that the clients that have gone through FKOC have in fact been able to become viable members of the community.
It's a place that will help you if you want to be helped. It's a place that will encourage you and give you your mind back, it'll give you your strength back, it'll give you your encouragement and give you a will to live again. If it wouldn't have been there for me, I would have been dead. I feel like I'm living again. You know, when you don't have a job and you ain't got nowhere to go, and a job that does help you, you feel like you got something. You feel like you got a control of your life, especially when you've been what I've been through, so I feel like now I got a life again. Yay!
I hope you've enjoyed this brief tour of FKOC, a most effective and inspired response to the dilemma of homelessness. Perhaps Winston Churchill put it best when he said, "We make a living by what we get. We make a life by what we give."
The Florida Keys Outreach Coalition, renewing hope and restoring lives. For more information, I invite you to call me personally at area code 305-293-8189 or visit us on the web at fkoc.org. I invite you to join us in this enterprise of love.